Welcome to this quick start guide for our Connect installation amplifiers. We're going to guide you through the process of getting an amplifier up and running using our web portal. First, connect the installation amplifier to a network with an Ethernet cable and switch it on. On your selected device, search the network using an IP scanner, or by going into the router's configuration page and looking at the connected devices. If the amplifier is not displaying by name, look for the MAC address that's located on its back panel. Once you've found the amplifier on the network, type its IP address into a web browser on your computer, tablet, or smartphone. Our web portal is split into 3 tabs: Basic Settings, Input and Output Settings, and DSP Configuration. If you're working with multiple amplifiers, you can use the identification mode to check which amplifier you're configuring. Starting with Basic Settings, fill in your details in the information section and give each amplifier a name, for example, living room. The IP address and subnet mask is automatically displayed. Only turn DHCP off if you wish to assign these addresses manually. On this tab, you'll also find the power on method. This will be set to power button out of the box. Leave the amplifier in this setting whilst configuring. The next tab is Input and Output Settings. Using the Input Setup section, you can name the left and right inputs for each channel. For example, we're going to name these CD player left, CD player right, and TV left, TV right. In the Output Setup section, you can name each output channel and set up how each channel plays out. You can use both channels together in a stereo format, or use them as mono channels. In the amp mode, you can also set the amplifier to bridge the power of 2 channels into one. Or on the IA802C model, you can set the amp mode to 70 volt for use in 70 and 100 volt systems. In the output source section, you can set the priority of each output and choose to mix the outputs together. Output volume lets you adjust the master volume for each channel. This is linked to the control dial on the front of the amplifier. The next tab is DSP Configuration Settings. Here, you can configure the EQ, create presets that you can assign to individual channels, and hear the changes in real time. Using the EQ graph as a visual reference, you can adjust individual frequencies to meet your requirements. You can use tilt controls to boost or limit high and low frequencies. Or isolate high and low frequencies for use with small satellites and passive subs respectively, using the high and low pass filters. The delay section can be used to control the amount of delay between a source, such as a TV, and a speaker using milliseconds or distance. For example, if there is a lip syncing issue. You can also enable a limit on the channel using the limiter option. Once you've adjusted these settings, your preset will be saved. You can allocate it to individual channels at the top. In the Basic Settings tab, you can change the global preset here, or edit its name. Up to 49 individual presets can be saved to the amplifier. You can import or export global presets locally, from or to your device. either to back up or share them with other monitor audio installation amplifiers. To back up the entire system, including presets and input and output settings, choose Save in the Save and Restore section. Here is also where you can restore from a previous backup. If you encounter any problems and you'd like to reset the entire system, you can find the Factory Reset button at the bottom of this tab. Lastly, you should now set the power on method. There are 3 ways to switch the amplifier on, with 2 low power options. Audio switches the amplifier on when an audio signal is sensed. Power button requires the user to manually switch the amplifier on using the power button. Voltage trigger allows the amplifier to be switched on using equipment featuring a voltage trigger. The audio green and voltage trigger green methods are low power options, using far less energy when in sleep mode. You cannot access the web portal on the device whilst the amplifier is asleep in green modes, and will require an audio signal or voltage trigger to wake it. Do not use this setting unless you have an audio signal or voltage trigger connected before selecting. You can also set the power on delay to prevent power surges if there are multiple amplifiers switching on at the same time. For further information about the features of our installation amplifiers, refer to the manual supplied with the product.